Hey guys, it's Moonlander back with another horror movie review. And today we're going to be looking at a viewer requested review of a new movie called The Monster Project.
Those people that we brought here to interview, they're not people!
Time to pay for your sins.
Now I have to say, when I saw that Art suggested this movie, I didn't like the name, I didn't like the poster, and it wanted $5.99 to rent it. And to be honest, I did not want to watch this. I just had like preconceived notions about it, and I just thought, I don't think so, man. But then I watched the trailer, and holy crap, I thought it looked awesome. And when you go to rent this, if you do, the high definition version is $5.99, but when you look at more purchasing options, the standard definition was only 99 cents. So I thought that was cool. So this is about some YouTubers that want to grow their channel, and they decide they're gonna do this by interviewing anybody suffering from the supernatural or the paranormal.
Pay me enough for this.
Read the channel blowing up.
That's all money right there, baby.
But you know, we can make more. What if we turn this into a show?
So they get 3 people to do interviews with. One's a vampire or claims to be one, and one claims to be a skinwalker, and finally the last one is a nice young Asian woman who claims to be possessed by a demon. So they decide they're gonna rent this house to hold the interviews in, and when they arrive at this house, it's like an old abandoned house, and the owner tells them how it used to be a headquarters for a satanic group. And not only that, they're doing this on the night of an eclipse. And there's even more to this story, but I don't want to spoil it. And needless to say that things do go wrong. So the things I liked about this movie is I think I can easily say this is the most exciting and the most fun found footage movie that I've ever seen. And now I could see people disagreeing about this, but I enjoyed the actors and the writing for this movie. They actually go out of their way to make some subplots. The main character, the guy running the YouTube channel, has all these connections with these people, and he entices them and gets them involved in this project, and it's a part of the story as a whole. And now one of the people he gets involved in this project is a recovering drug addict, and he's got his own issues going on. And then he has his right-hand man that's, you know, doing this just to make money. And I really enjoyed that character. He was fun to watch get scared. And then there's his ex-girlfriend who is friends with this right-hand man and this recovering drug addict, who hates this guy, but he entices her by not asking her to grip for this project, but to actually direct it. And she can't refuse that, so she gets involved. And I thought the story and the characters all worked. I mean, it's not like amazing stuff, but I thought it was decent, and it added to the movie experience. And it just made it an all-around better movie, I thought. So besides the writing and characters, there are some really awesome found footage shots in this movie. Now there's a fight scene between the vampire and one of the characters in the movie wearing a head cam. And I thought it was awesome. And I mean, it's scary. The vampire's scary. I just thought it was really cool. And now there's one scene that I think was my favorite. This one shot where somehow this guy's getting dragged or knocked across the floor and he's firing a handgun at this skinwalker. And oh my God, I thought it was awesome and it looks believable. I just found that to be an amazing shot. And of course, the stars of the movie are the monsters. And now, normally I find vampires to be lame. I mean, I've seen some cool ones, but I just don't generally like vampires. And I don't find them scary or all that interesting, but they do a great job with this vampire. I thought she was scary, and she even has a pretty interesting interaction with the drug addict guy. And I thought she was scary. I mean, it was cool. And now the Skinwalker is awesome. There's lots of shots of this thing like, raw, it just looks awesome. And then finally the Asian girl who's possessed. Wow, this thing is scary. And man, let me tell you, they go over the top with this possession. Like, she's been possessed her whole life. This thing comes in at night and has her way with her. And, I mean, this is just like the worst type of possession. And, you know, why not? Just go all out with these monsters. It's great. It all worked. So I don't have a lot of issues with this movie. Just a few minor things that I would list in the bad things. Is there are some shots in this movie, like if you start thinking about like, why is this guy recording this? Or, you know, why is this guy hiding in a bush with a body cam on? But for me, it was easy to look past these, you know, questionable shots to the authenticity of being a found footage movie. I mean, I just found myself like sitting back and enjoying this thing. But if you want to get nitpicky, I guess you could find some shots that don't really make sense. And now another minor issue I had with the movie is the drug addict has a dream sequence or a vision type part when he's dealing with the possessed girl. And I thought it was a good idea. And it is pretty good. I just wish that it was a little more sinister or evil feeling. And that whole idea, I mean, there's a lot of potential and things you could do with it. And to me, I mean, they did a decent job. I just thought it could have been a little better. And I mean, those are the only real issues I had with this movie. Now, when you look at IMDb, this has like 500 some reviews and it's sitting at 4.2. People, well, it must be a significant amount of people do not like this movie. Now, it is found footage, and I know that's not like a wildly popular genre amongst a lot of people. And I could see that maybe not liking the characters or the acting, but you know, I disagree. For a horror movie, I thought it was all decent to good. So my final thoughts on this movie is, you know, you might be wondering, you know, like why you never see any good horror movies, but I gotta tell you, I really think this is a good horror movie. And I found that to really celebrate vampire, skinwalker, and possessed. I loved it. This movie was full of stuff that I've always wanted to see in found footage. I watch a lot of it. I like found footage, so I'm partial to them, but they usually don't deliver on this amount of action and you know, creatures and everything. You know, usually they rely on subtlety in one big scene or a couple scenes to carry the scares. And This one just goes all out, and it worked for me. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. I don't only think it's a good found footage movie, I think it's a good horror movie, and I can't suggest it enough. Now this director, the Victor Mathieu, that he also has a credit for writing as the story by, but there's 5 writing credits. And now I'm extremely excited to watch this guy's career. He does have some things done. I haven't heard or seen any of it, but it shows that his next movie is called Carnival, and it's about a woman with a fear of clowns who decides to face her fears by going to a carnival, which happens to be ran by the clown that induced this fear in her. And while it doesn't sound like a realistic story, it sounds fun, and I'm really excited to see it. I think this guy has a good grasp on horror, so this guy's name that's going on my list of directors to watch. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching the review, and please check this movie out. See you on the next one.